A Week Away stars Kevin Quinn as Will Hawkins. Nowhere left to go, he finds himself at camp for the first time. His instinct is to run, but he finds a friend, a father figure, and even a girl who awakens his heart. Most of all, he finally finds a home. This is directed by Roman White, who has an extensive history of directing music videos, and this has been described as a more religious version of High School Musical, with the camp Will going to being a Christian summer camp. And funny enough, Will even looks like he can pass off as Zac Efron here. I'd say this film is well-intentioned as it's very innocent and family-friendly, but that's also its biggest problem as it tries way too hard at doing so. It's been compared to a Disney movie, but I'd say that's stretching it, as even Disney's most innocent films have some awareness of what's going on in the real world and don't resort to pandering, at least not routinely. The best way to describe this film is that it lives in its own bubble. The opening scene finds Will stealing a cop car, and it's stated he has a history of getting himself in serious trouble similar to this, so this is considered the final straw by the detective who works on this case. However, he's given the decision of either going to juvie or going to this religious summer camp as an alternative. Now, I think it goes without saying, but no one's afforded such a choice like that in real life, and because of that, I'd say there were sci-fi and fantasy films that come off as more believable than this. But this sets the tone for the entire movie. It's a film filled with no real stakes, with this version of life feeling akin to a squeaky clean 1950s sitcom, where a little bit of mischief is the most anyone ever has to worry about. There's even a bully here, but even he's revealed to have this somewhat goody-two-shoes side to him as well, so any real conflict with his character is immediately deflated. In fact, there's no real plot to this movie, nor is there really a message. Once Will gets to the camp, the film becomes aimless. There are a few mini-adventures, like some romance among some of the camp members, but it's not like there are any real conflicts these characters have to overcome. It's also not character-driven, as we don't learn much about anyone. Any minor details we do learn are inconsequential, nor do any of them have an arc. Everyone's just there. The film also makes some attempts at humor, with a lot of corny jokes between Will and a kid named George, whose mom, played by Sherry Shepherd, is the one who suggests Will goes to the camp in the first place. There are some half-assed pop culture references, awkward moments where they'll stammer their way through conversations, and one scene in which Will tries to give the nerdy George a cool makeover. But none of it really lands. The only standout with the humor is David Koechner as the head of the camp, as well as the father of Will's love interest Avery. He's actually well suited for this role, making his share of corny dad jokes that makes him fit well in this sort of environment. Now, I'm not saying he was consistently laugh-out-loud funny, but little moments where, for example, he tries to act like an Apocalypse Now character for a paintball match were somewhat amusing, and they were some of the only enjoyable moments throughout this film. And as I briefly mentioned, this is also a musical. Now, I'm a big musical fan, so I thought I'd get some enjoyment out of the songs, but unfortunately, I can't even say that much. They're by no means the worst songs I ever heard in a musical, but after the opening number, everything sounds very obviously auto-tuned and over-polished, so it would repeatedly take me out of the moment, when it was already difficult to buy most of this conflict to begin with. On top of that, because of the film's poorly written screenplay, the way this would transition from normal dialogue to a song would be extremely jarring, with no lead-in whatsoever most of the time. Characters would speak 1 second, and then the very next line of dialogue, the music and lyrics would immediately kick in at the exact same time. I lost track of the amount of times I did a double take whenever that happened. This film's geared towards a very specific audience, and if you're in that target audience, maybe you'll get something out of this, but unfortunately, I found this to be a very pointless film, with no real conflict, no real message, bad jokes, and songs that just don't work. I can respect that it's well-meaning, but that doesn't automatically mean it's enough. A Week Away gets a 3 out of 10. So, let me know, did you see A Week Away, or are you planning to see it, and what were your thoughts? Did you like the songs? Do you have a favorite musical? Let me know in the comments below so we can discuss. Also, if you enjoyed this video, please like it and share it, and for more movie reviews and film discussion, please make sure to hit that subscribe button to stay updated. Thanks for watching everyone, and keep having fun with film.